Easter joy never ends because Christ truly, physically walks along with us with his scars. That shows us how much he is loving us. The great promoter of positive thinking, Reverend Norman Vincent Peale, talks about this wonderful principle known to the humans, which is a miracle principle. And he speaks that this miracle exists in 6 words. Make a miracle happen and expect a miracle. And the joy of this miracle is very much in the gospel today, where these disciples who were walked along with Jesus on the way to Emmaus from Jerusalem, now after encountering Christ, walking back to Jerusalem and to tell the story. And when you tell the story of encountering Christ, there are 2 things happen. One is that you give that Christ experience to somebody else. And secondly, your experience of Christ and the joy is doubled. Your faith is deepened. And wonderful principle proposed by Peale is about deep faith that we need to have in the good Lord. Few years back, there was a story reported from Davidson, North Carolina, United States, that this woman who was walking in the churchyard saw a disturbing sight. A vagrant sleeping on the bench. She was alarmed. She just wanted to get some help for this person. Suppose if there is a medical emergency, call the police. Police came to investigate. And they found out that it was not a human at all. It was a statue, fully covered in a blanket. Only part was visible outside the blanket was the bare feet. And they found, even at a closer looking, that the feet had the scars of crucifixion. It was a statue created by the Canadian artist Timothy Shams. And it is a life-size statue of Jesus, the crucified one, sleeping as a vagrant on a park bench in a churchyard. That was something beautiful that this wonderful artist sculpture brought to the thinking of the people in the Catholic world. That Jesus, the humblest, with his crucified scars, sleeping outside, seeking for a help. My friends, when we look closer at this experience of Emmaus, or all these episodes of Easter, we see something different. St. Luke describes the blindness of the disciples on the road to Emmaus. Their eyes were prevented from recognizing Jesus. We can speculate why. They were disillusioned, anxious, angry, sad. They had all these negative, lost feelings of life. What is going on these days around the world, especially in India? We do have such a worry, such an agony, such a desperate need for some kind of consolation in the second wave of COVID-19. We do not know what is going on. The recent news that we have is that the hospital beds are full. People are just desperately going on around for some kind of medical help, some kind of consolation. At times, our eyes are blinded. And where are we looking at? Today, as Jesus walked along with his disciples on the way to Emmaus, their eyes were opened and they walked back to Jerusalem. One of the beautiful thoughts of St. Augustine on this context is this: their eyes were closed because their hearts were closed. Preaching about this passage, he said the whole story revolves around the critical moment. Everything begins to be coming to a kind of doom. They lost even their faith. And what do we do then? It is a time that Jesus accompanies them. Jesus walks with them. The 2 promises that we have in this whole season of Easter is this. One is, peace be with you. And second one is that, do not be afraid. He takes away all the fears. He accompanies us. My friends, we are equally troubled and struggling. And we need that strengthening experience of Jesus walking with us on the way wherever we are. At times it is very tempting for us to see the first few weeks of Easter, to forget that, to take the resurrection for granted. After a few days, we throw out the wilted flowers and we have the decorations always dim and grey. and the plastic baskets and the plastic flowers we remove from our sacristies and our sanctuaries. And we just come to a kind of point that nothing has happened. We have 40 days to prepare for the Lenten season, through the Lenten season for the Easter. And church always grants us 50 days to celebrate the Easter joy. What does that mean? Because this is the defining event of salvation history, the pivotal moment in our lives as Catholic Christians. My dear friends, Easter joy never ends because Christ truly, physically walks along with us with his scars. That shows us how much he is loving us. God bless you all and have a happy Easter season.